Hello and welcome to Jamaicans.com live with me, your host, Deborah. I'm truly happy to have you here with me this evening. We are going to be talking about nutrition labels, something that I think is very crucial when you're thinking about what you want to ingest in your body. So please come on, let me know where you're coming in from, and I'm looking forward to having you here with me this evening. All right. So before I go any further, I would of course like to say a huge thank you to Jamaicans.com for having me on this evening. I am truly blessed. This is a fifth show of our 8-week series, nutrition series. And so it's just amazing that we have been here sharing information with you guys. I hope you've been enjoying that. And if you want to, let's say, have me cover a particular topic, please don't be afraid to, put that in the comments and let me know if you want me to cover a particular topic. All right. So definitely excited to be on here on Jamaicans.com with you guys this evening. All right. So let me just go ahead, formally introduce myself, and then we're going to just jump right into the topic for today, or the subject for today. So once again, my name is Deborah. I am a nutritionist. I have a master's degree in nutrition. I also am a nutrition educator, so I'm an educator in the school system. I teach middle schoolers, especially important for our young ones to know about health and wellness so they can build healthy habits, right? In addition to that, I am a community health nutritionist here in the Bronx, which is where I'm from. So let me know where you're coming in from. I see someone here from Japan, actually. Satoka, I've seen you here before. Welcome back. Great to have you. So in addition to those two roles, I also founded a company called My Temple Wellness. Basically just teaching folks how to keep a healthy, well temple. And I'm excited about that as well. So all right, guys, so this evening we're just going to get right into the topic and speak to you guys. I'll be speaking to you guys about, like I said before, nutrition labels. So as you're coming in, I really want to know where you're coming in from. And I also have another question for you this evening. I would like to know, what is your favorite processed food? Okay, so what's your number one processed food? So let me give you some examples. For some people, like some kids might say Oreos, others might say Doritos, right? So what's something that you absolutely love that's processed? And I want you to put that in the comments right now and let me know what that is. As you're doing that, I also want you to share this with others. So let people know that we are here talking about nutrition labels and for them to be here. Hello, Mr. Tony Kelly from England. Great to have you here. Kaysen from London as well. Thank you for coming on. I hope I'm saying these names right, guys. If I say your name wrong, please forgive me. I apologize. Yes, so let me know where you're coming in from, but also let me know your favorite processed foods. All right? And don't say an apple. So we know that fruits are not processed, right? So I'm speaking about the foods that man made, not the foods that God made. So I have quite a few of you guys in this room right now with me watching. So I want to hear from you. I'm waiting on y'all to tell me what your favorite processed food is. And don't be embarrassed. It's okay. Like, this is a no judgment zone. All right. So whatever you put in here, let me see if I can see anybody sharing. Okay. Unique from London as well. We have 3 folks from London already in here. Someone says chocolate. That's a good one. Welcome, Lakeisha. Great to have you on with us this evening. I'm waiting to find out what your guys' dumpling. Leo says dumpling. All right, so that sort of counts. So Jamaicans. Leo, are you Jamaican? I bet you that Leo is Jamaican. So yeah, a lot of Jamaican people love dumpling. I can't lie about that. That's a good one. Cornmeal or flour dumpling? Which one? Breadfruit? I wouldn't say breadfruit is really processed. Breadfruit is grown on a tree, right? And then they harvest it, and like 100%, he said, they harvest the breadfruit. And if you're living in Jamaica, let me tell you guys something about breadfruit. So I live in the Bronx. I went over to get some breadfruit because I was craving breadfruit, and I couldn't find any breadfruit. And come to find out, there's no shipment of breadfruit because of what's been going on with Corona. So for you if you live in Jamaica, you have breadfruit, big up yourself. I'm jealous right now because honestly, we have no access to that right now up here in the Bronx. I don't know about anybody else worldwide, but we actually have no breadfruit, and so it's a little bit sad. But yeah, breadfruit, it wouldn't be considered processed because it's grown. I don't see anybody else sharing on what their favorite processed food is. That what we're going to be talking about tonight. All right, Bobby Taylor, big up, yes, big up yourself. All right, guys, so I'm not going to wait any longer. You guys aren't telling me what your processed food is. I think it's because you guys are either shy or, okay, I'm getting some more. I got chocolate and fries. Fries can be debatable because, let's say if you cook it at home, let's say you slice your own potatoes and you put a small amount of salt on it, a small amount of oil, and put it in the oven or something like that, it's not going to be as bad as the one you get from McDonald's. So McDonald's as a process would be considered like the processed one, so that's good. Valerie, beef jerky, all right, that's good. Tamika, bula, that's a good one. Bula. My husband love bula. Bula is for those of you who are on here that are not Jamaican, forgive me when I go into my Jamaican patois. All right, but the bula business is like bula and cheese and bula and pear and them thing there. I mean, it's like delicious. But remember, we're gonna try to minimize the amount, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. We're just gonna focus on what it is. Bun, that's another one. Bun and cheese. Thanks, Deborah. Bun and Jamaican cheese. Leo, again, thank you, Leo. And Deborah also said bun. Yeah, so all of these delicious processed food, and these are some good Jamaican options that you guys are putting out there. Really cool. Well, listen, so I don't have any bun here today and no bula, but I have some other stuff that I'm going to be talking to you guys about what is actually in some of these foods that we're buying, right? And it's important to know because especially if you're trying to stay healthy, lean and trim, and you know what I mean. Cheetos is another one. Tamika, thank you. That's yeah, kids love that one, but adults do too. But it gets that orange stuff on your hands, and believe it or not, that's what it's doing on the inside of your stomach too. But let's not talk about that right now. We're gonna just focus on what we're focusing on, which is labels. Jacqueline, welcome. All right, guys, so the format of the show, I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes, and then we have a thing that we're going to be making. Donuts, very good one. We're going to be making some granola, a nice dish I'm going to share with you guys this evening, a healthy processed food that you're going to make at home, because the goal when I do my shows, I want to talk to you about something, but I want to show you like a nice option that you could do, a healthier option rather, that you can do for yourself at home. So this evening we're going to do homemade granola, so let all your friends know that we're going to be doing that along with a smoothie. All right, so stay tuned for that. So let me get through this information real quick with you guys, specifically speaking about nutrition labels. So let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go back to like the 50s, right? So back in 1950s, as far as where do we come up with this whole processed food idea? So processed food didn't start until years ago, okay? We were eating, people were eating from the land, right? So they were eating plants and vegetables and herbs and seeds more predominantly. People were also more healthier. If you look into the studies, people were healthier back then as well. We've developed so much more health conditions as time goes by because of the foods we're eating, and specifically because of the processed foods. All right, so it started back then, and it was really to help for food shortage was one of the reasons they developed processed foods. Also, when men would go to war back then, what happened is the women had to figure things out at home. They were going to work and coming home and then having to try to fix meals. So one of the first meals that they came up with was like a processed like TV dinner, which was like turkey, I think it was like a turkey meal or something like that. And so that's where it started. And now it's gotten into such a huge, it's a huge business, guys, huge. Like right now, and that was about 70 years ago, right? Right now, it's a $1 trillion industry. The food business, what we call big food, like big pharma, but this is big food, right? So there are large organizations, Kraft General Foods, we got the McDonald's and the KFC, all of those are considered as large processed food organizations. And so that's like a $1 trillion industry per year, okay? And that's in revenue. When you think about a company like Kraft, so Kraft General Foods, you guys mostly should be familiar with, I would say. If you're not familiar, think about Entenmann's cake. They make Entenmann's cake. They make a lot of these processed mac and cheese that you see. And they make about $18 billion per year, okay, in revenue from what they're selling. And that's processed. That's not vegetables, that's not fruits, that's none of the things that we actually require to have a healthy body, right? And so we need to be educated on that, because if we're not educated on that side of it, then we don't kind of understand the why. Why are these industries trying to sell to us? And now let's get into what the biggest factor is: marketing, right? So what these companies are doing is they're marketing to you specifically. So they understand how to market to children, they understand how to market to a black woman, they understand how to market to an older person, they know exactly how to market to each person. Now, my BA, my bachelor's degree, is actually in marketing, and so I recall when we were having to put together these sort of sample way of how we would market a product, for example. That was like a simple thing that we have to do. How do you market the product? So you're basically thinking of, how do I get someone to purchase this ice cream? What am I going to do to make it attractive? Am I going to put, let's say, a basketball player on there that will attract the kids, right? What am I going to put? Let's say Shrek, when Shrek came out, right? I don't know if you guys remember, when Shrek came out, it was on all the cereal boxes, right? That was a way of lure people in. And I would love for you to share your experience if you have ever felt like someone was marketing to you on a particular product. I would love for you to let me know what the product is. And if you bought it, did you buy it because of what was listed on the front? In addition to the marketing aspect of it, there's health. They put a lot of health claims, right? So a lot of these boxes, they'll put like fruits, right? And that fruit is going to lure you in. They'll say things like natural, right? The FDA doesn't even regulate that word, natural. So anybody could throw natural on a box and sell it to you, but our idea of what natural is, right, is generally healthy. And so they use words to sort of capitalize on getting your dollars. Getting your dollars, basically selling to you. Now, I have brought up the marketing piece because I wanted to also share a little bit about Got Milk, right? Have you heard, or do you recall this Got Milk commercial that they would have? If you have heard about the Got Milk, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. I don't know if you're aging yourself with that, but that wasn't that long ago when they had the Got Milk commercials coming out. And for those of you who don't remember, let me try and jog your memory. So what it was, you drink a glass of milk and there would be like a huge like white milk sort of mustache right here, right? And so they were using that to lure people in, and it was kind of cool, right? I would say it was kind of cool, it was interesting, and people started drinking more milk. And they used that campaign, right? They used that campaign to basically get more of your dollars and to convince you that milk was good, milk was healthy. Now, I'm not an anti-milk person, nutritionist, but I kind of am, because I know of what it does to the body, right? And so what they did with that commercial was to use that tagline, right? Got milk, and then they took that and ran with it and was able to lure people in. Now, another thing that the dairy industry does, they target children, like I said before. And how do they do that? They go into the school system. So the public schools, most of you guys know, especially if you have children, the public school system serves milk to the students. They have techniques on how to make sure that they have chocolate milk as an option. They also make sure it's extremely cold, because they did studies to find out that that's how kids really like it. So they figured out whatever it takes for these students to drink this milk, that's what they're doing. However, milk, and they also market to parents. They market to parents and they market to educators. So like myself, I am supposed to be teaching kids that milk is good for your body. All right. And so this is their technique. They are, like I said, they have billions of dollars. They spend a lot of budget on marketing to make sure they get the best representatives. So let's say Michael Jordan may do a commercial, right, for a cereal company or for something like that. That's where they're spending their money, because they know you look up to Michael Jordan. So clearly you're going to drink what Michael Jordan drinks, right? If you're talking about a young boy who plays basketball or something like that. And so it's a huge industry. They're spending a lot of money on it, and they're making sure that you are not paying attention to what's going on. However, casein, which is a protein, is found in milk. Now, you could do your research on this. Casein also has been founded to cause cancers and also to have to cause issues when it comes to osteoporosis. Now, you're thinking osteoporosis doesn't have to do with bones. Isn't milk supposed to be good for bones? Well, yeah, allegedly, but that's not the case. All right, it actually harms you and affects and causes you to actually have issues with osteoporosis. All right, and also when it comes to diabetes and a whole host of other things, heart disease and stuff like that. And it's because of the inflammation that is found in the milk. However, and my main point is, they're using marketing to lure you in with what sounds to be something that's supposed to be good for you when it's actually not. And that's the same thing that they are doing when it comes to these processed foods. Now, I have a few things out here that I'm going to be sharing with you guys very shortly, but I wanted to go over that part because I think if you don't understand why so much money is being spent to get your money, then it's kind of like, what's the point? Okay, so we have X amount of flats in this and X amount of sugar in this. There's also a certain thing called the sweet spot, I think. My memory's gone just now, but where they try to make sure that the right amount of sugar is in a product to really keep you addicted, right? So most of you know by now that sugar is addictive, even more addictive than cocaine, which is a drug. All right. And so when it comes to what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, what you're getting from these processed foods, and I went out and I actually bought some of the things that I don't normally have in my house, but I bought it specifically to share with you guys. It didn't cost that much, so it was cool. But I wanted to share with you guys so you can have a good understanding of that. Before I go into those foods, and I think we're doing okay on time, I wanted to also share that when it comes to trusting let's say the government, the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, we're supposed to trust the government, we're supposed to trust the FDA, we're supposed to also trust our doctors. However, just so you guys are aware, years and years and years ago, I don't know if you recall, when it came to cigarettes, what was happening with cigarettes before the government told us to stop smoking, right, or told people to stop smoking. What was happening? They were doing so many promotion for it. Philip Morris was one of the large companies, Camel, if you guys remember, and I printed out an ad because I wanted to share with you guys. It's kind of ridiculous. Before they actually banned it, it was sort of like, it was okay. And when I show you this ad, you're going to kind of get to understand. So let me just show you the ad that I printed out to show you so you can see what was going on. Now, I'm going to hold it up. I really hope you'll be able to see it. So this was from the 50s. Okay, this was an ad that says more doctors smoke Camel than any other cigarette. And in it shows the doctor in his his lab, whatever you call that thing, gown or whatever, sitting at his desk with his cigarette, right? And there goes Camel at the bottom, you can see, and then they have a woman, a lady there, and then more doctors, and then there's a lot of stuff on here. So if you want to find more on this, you can just go to Google and you can find images on that. There's even some that actually has like a little boy on there, right, and saying, oh, what should I get for my mom and my dad? And it's like boxes of cigarettes. So back in those days when this was no big deal, now the government is saying, as you all know, stop, cigarette has been banned. But it took a lot of years for that to happen. It took a lot of years for that to happen. Thousands of articles and research was done before the government came to a place of saying, no, so the goal here, guys, is to get you to understand you can't always trust the government, you can't always trust the FDA, you can't always even trust your own doctor, all right? Because doctors can be paid to say anything. All right, and that's what's happening with a lot of these studies. When you're hearing that this is good for that, milk is good for this, you have to do your own research. But thank God you have me. I'm doing some of the research for you, and I'm sharing with you guys, sort of like on a surface level, right? Because I'm not digging too deep here on these nutrition chats that I do with you. I'm not digging too deep, but I'm trying to kind of get you what's the word? I'm trying to get you intrigued. I'm trying to get you thinking. I'm trying to get you to question things, right? That's what you have to do. You have to question everything. Do not accept everything for face value. All right? If you don't remember anything I ever say on any of these shows, don't accept anything at face value. Dig, question, do your research. And when you research, if there's something you're not sure about, ask someone who you think might know more, right? Get educated on all of that, and that's why I'm here, right? So I'm educating you guys. I'm trying to get you to be excited about your own health and to take care of your own body, because we cannot trust the government to do that, all right? And so right now we're going to go right into the label so you can understand specifically how to read a label, right? But before I do that, I wanted to share another thing with you guys, because once again, the knowledge is power, right? So where we live right now, a lot of us we're living in the United States, and for those who live outside of the states as well, so for some folks who lives outside the state might not have this issue. So in America, we are accepting a lot of foods that other countries have banned. So I'm going to give you a list of the foods that are banned outside of the United States and foods that are okay to have here. All right, so let me go over the list real quick. Now, there might be a few more that I'm missing, but I'm just going to go through them. And so that's why I'm saying don't trust the government, FDA, and all of that. And so food dyes. So like food dyes you find in M&Ms, those are banned in other countries. Skittles are banned in other countries. So those you will never find in other countries. So anything where you see red dye, like red dye 40, any of those colors that you see in these foods, all of that stuff has been banned in other countries, except here in America. Farmed salmon is banned in other countries, not banned in America. I'll say that again, farmed raised salmon. So farmed raised salmon, you cannot find it anywhere else except the United States. This thing called olestra, excuse me, olestra chemical, which is found in potato chips, a lot of fat-free potato chips. That's why that word fat-free, you got to be careful of fat-free. Remember I told you about the health claims, right? Natural, fat-free, all of that stuff, light, all of that stuff is like a gimmick. And also in French fries. Then you have synthetic hormones found in milk and dairy, all right, and baked goods. Someone's saying, what the health on Netflix? Yes, exactly. That's the thing. Get educated. That's really good. Thank you, Grace Purpose. Great. Thank you for that. So yeah, and so arsenic in chicken. I said that. I know. And they use that to get the pink color here in the States. So they put arsenic in it, and it's a carcinogen, right? And carcinogens, we know, causes cancer. So think about that, all right? So you want to be careful on what type of chicken you're purchasing. And in potassium bromide, which is found in like a lot of these bread rolls, and some other chemicals like azodicarbonamide. Did you see how many places I had to move my mouth to get that word out? That chemical, that's found in a lot of these frozen dinners, right? Remember the ones I told you started in the 50s so that women could come home and quickly make a meal and all of that. And a lot of people I see use it at lunchtime, right? They put it in the microwave at their job, and quick TV dinner, chemicals found in that, right? And that's banned in other countries and a lot of these big goods. So do the research, guys. A lot of these things that we're finding in these food products are absolutely terrible for you. And so I need you to understand that. So let's go into I'm missing a piece of paper here. No, it's not that one. All right, so nutrition, let's just go into it. My nutrition labels paper that I had, I don't know what I did with it. All right, so nutrition labels, we'll just use a sample from here. So one of the first things you want to do, and I picked up some of the foods that Jamaicans are familiar with, guys. So now I don't know what I'm going to do with these after, because we're just not trying to have them in this house. My husband's getting excited behind the camera. But Ovaltine, Shirley Biscuit, these are some of the ones I picked up. And I even picked up, so we're going to go over a couple of these, all right? I'm not going to go into all of them. And then stuff like pumpkin soup mix or cock soup, right? You put this in your soup. So let's go over that first. So this is what you have in the back, nutrition facts, right? So the very first thing that I am going to recommend that you do when you go into your supermarket and you say, okay, I am going to get a certain amount of processed foods today because I need it for whatever reason. And we're eating a lot of processed food. So about 70% of what we're eating is processed, right? So you want to also reduce that. I'm sure you guys understand that's a message in general here, is to reduce your processed food intake, right? So on something like this, right, that you're putting into your soup, for example, it has 1,040 milligrams of sodium. But before I even get to the sodium, the first thing you want to do, let me get back to that, is you want to check the ingredients. So before I do anything, if I don't look at if I don't agree with the ingredients, I go no further, right? So if I don't agree with the ingredients, if I don't agree what's on here, I'm not even going to look to see how much fat, how much protein, how much carb, how much calories. It won't even matter to me, right? So I suggest first thing you do, first order of business when you pick up anything, look at the ingredients. So the first item listed is going to be, and I don't know if you guys are taking notes, but this video is always going to be available. So share it on your page so you can always go back and look at it, and also for others to see it, right? Because you want your family and friends to also get this information. All right, so the first ingredient, guys, is going to be the amount that's the highest quantity. So for example, in this one, it's the first ingredient in this is wheat flour, right? So that's the first ingredient in this. That means it's the most of that item. And then the least item in here is absorbic acid enzyme, and that's what's listed in here. So in addition to knowing that the first ingredients is the most, the last ingredients is the least, you should also be checking for things you do not recognize. All right, so clearly in a product like this, they're putting in a lot of things in there to keep it fresh, which is not food, right? Something in order to keep something fresh, that's not food, right? They also do that for flavor. So a lot of the stuff they're putting in these things, it's for flavor. So you're like, this tastes good, right? So they put it for those type of purposes, but it's not actually food, all right? So they man-make their chemicals to make it taste like XYZ, whatever it is, and then they put it in here, and now you're stuck with your body trying to digest something that it doesn't even recognize. All right, so like I said, first ingredients the most, last ingredients the least, and then look for things you do not recognize, right? And then, you know, I can't even pronounce, you know, that the chemical I was trying to pronounce earlier, it's the same. Half of these things we can't even pronounce what it is, and so therefore chances are it's not something you should, even if you have it here and there, it's not something you should make a regular practice. All right, so yeah, and someone just said, Antoinette just said, not because you were raised on it don't mean it's good for you. Yeah, that's exactly true. That is exactly true. I totally agree with that, because a lot of us are raised with certain things and we think, you know what, this is good for me, but that's, remember what I said in the beginning, poisoning, Daniel, exactly. I said it in the beginning of one of my other series that we inherit our recipes, therefore we inherit diabetes and all these other diseases, right? Because that's really what the problem is. It's our diet. So I remember my mom used to buy cock soup and put it in all of the soup that she make, right? And so naturally, when I was making soup before I became health conscious, of course I put cock soup in all of my soup then, right? So it's the same. That's what we do. And again, apologize to those people on here who don't understand patois. Somebody translate. One pack in a pot from Jennifer. She says 1 pack in a pot of soup is not going to matter. Good flavor to soup. Yes, right. That is true. All right, so let's get back to our labels, right? So you're looking at the stuff that's on here. You're seeing a lot of chemicals. You don't recognize it. You say to yourself, I don't want this in my body. I'm going to make that decision, right? In addition to the ingredients, what's on the ingredient section, the rule of thumb is 5 or less ingredients, right? That's what I recommend. 5 or less ingredients. Anything above that, and those 5 really should be natural, things you can recognize, right? Like whether it's some type of wheats, whole wheat or whole grain or something like that, and then maybe strawberries, sliced strawberries that were dried, you know what I mean, stuff like that. All right, so you're checking that part, you're looking at this, then you decide, I don't want this, and then you figure another way. You can maybe create your own flavor by boiling lots of vegetables, right, and herbs to create sort of like a vegetable option, which is what I usually do. Like I said, I bought these things to kind of show you what it is, but just keep in mind, you want to look at that part first. Make a decision. Do I want this product or not? If it's a no, you keep it moving. You figure out how else you're going to get the flavor into your food. All right, and then you want to come up to where it says, so this is again nutrition facts. This is the labeling section here, and so you want to look at the serving size. All right, so what a lot of people get confused with, they don't know the serving size, right? So what is the serving size? It's the amount, right? So this is telling you 2 tablespoons, right? 2 tablespoons. If you use 2 tablespoons, you will be getting 70 calories, all right? And that's what it is. So if 2 tablespoons equals 70 calories, and then the rest of all of these ingredients here, so the fat content is based on that. Also, which is the main thing I want us to look at on this particular package, is sodium, right? Which is known as salt, right? So this, like I was telling you, 1040, right? I'm going to put it up just so you guys can see for a little bit, right? That has a lot of salt in it. So if you're thinking about a person who has hypertension, right, or any of these chronic diseases, you want to avoid this product, because 2 tablespoons of this product has 2,080, right? Times 2. So you're basically multiply the serving by that. So you're going to have that much in just 2 tablespoons. And so in this container, there is 2 tablespoons actually. So you're looking for that too. You're looking to see how much is actually inside this one container, how many servings that you actually have. All right, so this 70 you would multiply by 2 to get 140 calories. All right, so this is not just this is what is in 2 tablespoons. All right, so I hope that's clear. All right, and I want to break down right, so let's keep going here. So you want to know the calories, which based on how much you want per day. So if you're thinking about losing weight, right, and let's say you normally, let's do an example. So next week I'm going to talk about weight loss, so we'll get more into that. But just for the purpose of this exercise, think about you are on a 2,000 calorie diet, which is for most women. Men, I think, is at 2,500 calorie per day, right? So you have to think in terms of how much calories you want. And so you have to always be subtracting how much you're having to make sure you're able to lose weight if you're trying to lose weight, right? So I don't want to tell people to count calories because I'm kind of not like with that, but if you're trying to stay healthy and you're going to be eating processed food, you have to count calories. Let's just put it that way. If you're eating processed food, especially a lot of it, you are going to have to count the calories to make sure that you're getting, you're not overeating on one particular nutrient, for example. All right. Another thing to know about these labels, they're going to show you how many macronutrients. Macronutrients is basically just a breakdown of the proteins, the carbohydrates, and the fats that are listed in here. The carbohydrates, you should be aware, those are sugars. Okay. So let's see, for example, on this one, you have 2 grams of sugar. And I wanted to do a little demonstration with you guys. So I have some white sugar here. And like I said, I went and I picked up a couple of things. This one I'm going to probably end up having. So I bought some ginger beer, and I bought the pineapple one too. So figure I just got 2, right? And I wanted to share with you guys. Let's look at the pineapple option, right? So here's the pineapple. This is the label, right? Here's the label. Hope you can see that. Hopefully it's clear. All right, so there's 100. I'm going to just go over it with you so you can understand. So if you're drinking one of these, right, this is 1 bottle. So here it starts off by saying serving size, 1 bottle, okay? 1 bottle is 12 fluoride ounces. Okay, that's fine. So you know that this is what's in here. It's going to tell you the calories. This has 180 calories. And so you have to decide, all right, can I afford to have that? Did I already eat 2,000 calories for the day? Because if you then have this, it's going to add to the 2,000 calories you already had. All right, so I hope that's clear to you. All right, total fats, saturated fats, and trans fat. This doesn't have any, but I'll speak about those. You do not want to have anything that has trans fat. That has been banned. No trans fat. There are some people that are still, or some of these folks who are making these products are still putting some percentage of trans fat. In addition, if it's under a certain amount, they don't have to put it on here. All right, so there's a lot of like sideway ways or ways that these food companies can sort of sneak things in just enough to meet the requirement so you don't know it's in there. All right, so sometimes they say 0, but really there is a percentage of it in there, and that's why processed food is just not a good option. All right, we got to sort of get to it. And so trans fat, avoid. When it comes to, let's say, saturated fat, remember that's from generally that's coming from like meat products and stuff like that. Not all saturated fats are bad, but again, that's another topic which I'll try to cover next week when I talk about weight loss. Sodium, again, is in this, right? I'm not sure why you'd need sodium in a soda, but it's in here. It's 25 milligrams. And then dietary fiber is not necessarily bad. That's actually good. This one has 0, so that's okay. And here we have 46 grams of sugar. So let's do this quick thing together, and I'm going to share with you guys how to determine how much sugar you're getting from a particular item. So this one, 46 grams, right? So let's measure this out. I need give me a second here. What can I use? Oh yeah, here we go. I'm going to need a teaspoon rather. So, can I borrow your phone real quick? All right, guys, so very simply, so you're going to get a formula right now that I want you guys to basically have, okay? So in order for you to calculate, you probably might have seen this before, right? You're going to say 4 grams is equal to 1 teaspoon, okay? So let's look at how many grams of sugar is found in this bottle. Okay, so we have 46 grams of sugar. So let's just go ahead and we're gonna just divide that, all right? So 11.5 teaspoons of sugar is found in this one bottle of soda. So when you're thinking about how much sugar you're supposed to have, now you are not really supposed to have any sugar at all, okay? If you think about it. So the WHO, CDC, all these organizations have put together sort of like what they recommend if you were to have any. So for women, it's daily 6 teaspoons. For men, it's 9 teaspoons. And for children, it's between 3 and 6 teaspoons. Now, again, you don't necessarily need added sugar. Let me correct that. Added sugar. Regular sugar from fructose, which is from fruits, it's okay. Okay, so that type of sugar that you're getting from your fruits, natural sugar, it's good. It's fine. But when you have the added sugar, which is what you have to specifically look for, which this is added sugar, you are going to be having quite a bit of sugar. So again, if you drink one of these, you're drinking 11 teaspoons of sugar. Now, this is not 11 teaspoons. I was supposed to measure it out, but we're running out of time, so I can't really show you exactly the quantity of what that is. Actually, let's get that done real quick. So I'm gonna ask my assistant here to hold this for me, and I'm just gonna measure out 11 teaspoons. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half. So this is the amount of sugar that you can find in your favorite bottle of pineapple soda. This is what I always tell people. Would you normally just pick up this much sugar and just start eating it just to say, all right, I'm gonna have this much sugar today, or just in the morning or whatever it is, whenever you decide to drink the soda with lunch, right? That's 11. Now, if you're a female, you already had almost twice the required amount that you needed for that day. And it's not even that you need it, because you don't need this added sugar. Okay, remember that. For men, you've also gone over. Okay, so remember, men need about, and I keep saying need, the recommended amount, should you decide to have it, for men is 9 teaspoons. All right? And so, yeah, that was a teaspoon, not a large spoon. That was a teaspoon. Don Shaw, that was a teaspoon. It was a little bit high, but either way, even if I took a little bit of this off, it's still a lot of sugar. It's still 11 teaspoons of sugar. All right, and so you don't want to have an item like this. And sugar is one of the main culprits in diabetes, the main culprits in obesity. It's the main culprit. Yeah, this is a spoon that we use. So this is the little spoon that I use. It's a teaspoon. All right. Yeah, so it's one of the main culprit why people are getting sick, why we're getting diabetes in our community. Remember, when it comes to the Black community, right, we are the ones passing away from diabetes, hypertension, heart disease. And so that's why things like this is a number one when it comes to sugary beverages. Coca-Cola has, 55, so it's about the same, right? It's about the same. This one container alone, and this is a 16 ounce bottle. This has so much sugar in it, right? Another thing to keep in mind, you're finding sugars in things like ketchup, all right? So this has not only sugar, but it also has, and this has 1 teaspoon. So let's talk about the label reading in this one. This has a serving size of 1 teaspoon, but how many of us only use 1 teaspoon when we're eating our French fries? Nobody really measures out. You're just like spewing it on, right? And so that has 4 grams, which is 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then it has 160 milligrams of sodium. Once again, hypertension, something that we have to be careful of. I want to go back real quick to these And what we have to do tonight is going to be simple, so it should be quick. When you're looking at some of our favorite snack, right? The Ovaltine biscuit them and the Shirley biscuit, right? Yeah, Don Shaw. Wow, education good because I love my D&G ginger beer. Yeah, this is the one here goes the ginger beer. This is the one I have that has 56 as well. So it's gonna have the same amount on there, Don. All right, Mr. Shaw. All right, so make sure you know how much sugar you're having, right, in your diet. So guys, if we look at our favorite Shirley biscuit, for example, if you look at the back of these, here are this is the ingredients. I don't know if you can really see it, but so it's probably not as clear. But the next time you go to the supermarket, or if you have it in your house right now, when you're finished watching me, go and look and just read the ingredients and see if you understand everything that's on here, and realize that the body just doesn't know how to handle half of these things. All right, it's putting a pressure on your liver, it's putting a pressure on your kidneys. And remember, right, our culture, Black people, we struggle with a lot of these health concerns. And so we have to make sure that we're caring for our liver good, we're caring for our kidney good. And that's why I wanted to spend some time to share with you guys on nutrition labels. If you want more detailed information, let me know. I will dig into it. I mentioned calories, I mentioned serving size, just trying to make sure that I cover everything with you guys. But yeah, there's so many different things that are placed in items like this mustard, for example. This one actually is not so bad because I try to buy good organic stuff when I'm purchasing things. This is a snack that I have that I usually get. It's something that if I feel like I want to have a snack, I'll get this, and I get it at Whole Foods. Now let's look at this one as an example of what to look for. So this one, they're already telling you all these gimmicks on it. They're making it look attractive. They use the bear. So this is an example of the marketing I was telling you about, right? So they use marketing to draw you in. So it looks cool. I like to smile. So this is going to pull me in. It's smiling. It's, it's cute or whatever. So they're using all of that to kind of lure you in. And then they also put some veggies on here. That's to let you know, hey, there's some vegetables in here. You're going to be healthy. And so that's totally fine. Let's just see what's in it. So what I do when I go into the supermarket before I buy anything, like I said before, look at my ingredients. So it says it has organic corn. Okay, not so bad. Now corn is not the best, but all right, we're going to go with that. It has explicit pressed sunflower oil. Also not so bad. Vegetable seasoning. That's generally okay. Blended sweet potato, tomatoes, carrots, spinach, onion, garlic, kale, salt, dehydrated parsley, organic spinach powder. That's all the ingredients. Now that is a little bit more than 5, but if you notice, guys, they're all things that I can pronounce very easily. That's the trick. Remember, if you can't pronounce it, that means like it's a chemical. That means it's like something you don't want in your body. So that's why I allow this to come into my house. That's why I buy this every now and then, right? Not all the time. That's why I buy it every now and then, because it's not the worst when it comes to like if I want to have a healthy snack. So you can find healthy snacks, right? You can make your own, which I'm going to show you how I made my own earlier today. And I'll share with you what it is. We're going to make it together right now. But you can find healthy options. Also, you want to avoid GMOs, right? Genetically modified products, right? You don't want to have products that have any type of genetic products. Hydrogenated oils, so you have to be careful of the oils that are in there, all right, as well. So soybean oil, you don't want that. Again, a long list of things. If you guys want me to get in more depth, let me know, all right, and I'll do that. But I wanted to just kind of skim the surface, share with you the basics of reading the label, which is, you want to know how much servings. Like this one, for example, it has 4 servings in this bag. Sometimes if you're hungry or sometimes if you're sad, you will sit down and you will eat this entire bag and you have just successfully eaten 4 servings. Okay, now you should have had this 4 different times, but something happened and you just decided to eat it, right? And they know that people won't actually, just pour out a portion. And that's what I do. I try to pour out a portion in a bowl. But I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes I go back and I get a second bowl, all right? Especially when I'm watching a movie or something like that. So be mindful of how much you're actually consuming and know how many calories you have had are ready for that day? Can you afford to have more calories? All right. And again, next week I'll be dealing with weight loss. So we'll talk about calories and counting calories. So yeah, so Pamela said it would be nice to have a printable PDF. All right, so I can try to work on that. Let me know exactly what you'd want that to look like, and I'll provide something for you guys if you like. I'll share it on my page. So if you're not following me, follow me on My Temple Wellness on Facebook and also on Instagram. I also have a website, but if you follow me on those social media pages, you'll get to see what I'm doing, and I will definitely make the PDF. Just let me know what you mean. I mean, I'll do a basic one so you can have it, that you can print it and keep it with you or put it on your refrigerator or whatever. That's a great idea, Pamela. Thank you. Yeah, so you can have the information. So yeah, you want to always know the calories, know how many fats are in here. Trans fat should always be 0. If it's not, don't buy it. All right, do not buy it. That stuff causes so much problems in the body. And I'll share an article or two about what trans fat does to the body. And again, keep a lookout for the sodium. So the main things: calories, sodium, fats, and sugar. All right, those are the things that you guys should look out for. All right, so that's basically it. I'm going to wrap this portion. I don't have anything else that I wanted to share with you guys. I think I covered pretty much everything. Just want to remind you that they're using these foods to, these foods are used to basically, you get addicted to these foods basically. All right, so that's what you need to be reminded of. Sometimes it's you want it because they've programmed you to want it, because you become addicted. Like I said in the beginning, sugar is compared with cocaine, which is a drug, and it's more addictive, all right, than cocaine. That's sugar. All right, so they're finding the way to get us trapped. They're finding ways to get us to eat all these different foods, and yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot. All right, guys. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna jump right into what we're doing this evening, which is, like I said before, a granola. I'm gonna get my pan. Okay. All right, Pamela also said list of banned foods and those things that are better for. Yeah, okay, so I'll share that. I'll share the list of banned foods. I'm gonna just say a quick hi to those of you who came on. Daniel, welcome. Jennifer Graham, good to have you. Antoinette, Marsha Turner, welcome back. And Jean, can't say that last name. Yeah, so welcome all of you, and Karen. I always miss some people, so if I missed you here, I'm gonna definitely shout you out when I go through and read through these. All right, so let's get into our cooking. I have my pan, and I'm going to be showing you how I make my granola. And so the idea is to make a healthy option, a healthy processed food option for yourself. All right, so you're welcome, Satoko. Good to have you. All right, so come on over. We're gonna get right into our granola. Lean it down just a little bit more. All right, guys, so hopefully you are able to see everything that we have here. All right, we have 10 minutes, so we're gonna have to get this done quite quickly, but it's not gonna take that long because I'm really just going to be demonstrating to you what I've already done. All right, so right now, come on over. All right, perfect. All right, so if you can see this bowl, here we go. So this is my bowl. So I'm going to be making a granola. All right, guys. And the granola is basically a healthy granola that you're making at home, so you don't have to make a purchase outside. All right. And the reason I'm doing that is because I really want you to find new ways on doing things. All right. So first we're going to take some rolled oats, and we're going to just go ahead and put that. That is going to be our base. All right. Then we're going to be adding in all these different types of nuts, all right, nuts and seeds. So I have some cashew nuts right here. I'm just going to go ahead and dump that in, all right. My next nut that I have here is walnuts. A lot of times what I do, and if you notice, these are pretty large size, right, but what I normally do is I normally break them up a bit, all right. So I normally would break them up, but for now it's okay. I'm not going to do that because I'm just doing a quick demo. And all of these containers that you're seeing here is 1 cup. All right, so this is all 1 cup, except for the oats. The oats was 2 cups. All right, so that was 2 cups of oats and 2 cups of oats and 1 cup each of the walnuts and the cashews. Now we're gonna put on our pumpkin seeds. Again, guys, all natural ingredients. We're going to put on our almonds. Again, 1 cup of almonds. We're just going to throw that in here. Okay. And one of my favorite sunflower seeds. Now, nothing had any salt. All right. I didn't put any salt in any of this, and I did that on purpose because remember, we're always thinking about being healthy. All right. And so we don't want to have any foods. I'm going to need one of those bowls for mixing the orange one on the top. The orange one, the big one, yeah. We want to stay clear of getting ourselves in trouble with salts, right? So when we don't put these salted nuts in our product, this granola, for example, we're going to help ourselves, all right? So you don't want to be having things that have too much salt on it. All right, so this is basically what the mixture looks like before I put anything in it to hold it together. All right, so I'm going to be putting the ingredients that's going to be holding it together right now, and let's get that going. So I have my bowl here. I'm going to be putting in just a small bit of salt, not a lot of salt, so just, this is not even a teaspoon, all right? This is like a special little thing that I use, really, really tiny, all right? I also have, let me just get all of these here. Hang on a second. Put all of my ingredients over. All right, so now I can go over them with you. All right, so right here we have some maple syrup. All right, so whatever maple syrup you have, you can use. All right, so I'm going to be putting, this is a half a cup. I'm not going to use a full half a cup. Let's just say 1/4 cup of maple syrup. I have the wrong cup out. So normally it's about a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Okay. I'm using also, this is a ginger syrup. So a lot of people want to use, let's say, honey. You can use honey should you choose to. Okay, perfect. I have my cups here. 1/3. Let's use a 1/3 for this. All right, so this is a ginger syrup because I love ginger, so I'll use this. And I got this at Whole Foods. But you can use honey if you like, and a little bit less. So this is a 1/3 cup of ginger syrup that I'm using here. Okay, and then I'm going to put a teaspoon of vanilla. All right, and this one is actually vanilla extract. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to need just a little bit more of the ginger. So let's just put a little bit more of that ginger syrup in there. And this is, the portion I'm making is a large portion, guys. It's not for one shot, right? So what we make today is gonna last. So I have in here salt, I have my maple syrup, and I also have my my ginger syrup as well. I'm going to be putting in a little bit of some of these spices here, okay? So I have nutmeg, which we love, right? Nutmeg and some cinnamon. So I'm going to dash some of that in here. So like about 2 or 3 dashes, all right? Up to you. If you like a lot of nutmeg flavor, you put more. It's really up to you. Cinnamon, same story, all right? So now this is basically what I'm going to be using to pull all of this together, okay? Before I put it in the oven, because that's the final step. I'll be putting it in the oven so that it can bake, all right? And the baking process is 35 to 40 minutes. You keep your eye on it at 350, okay, just to be sure, all right? So now we're going to be pouring this on. Everything has been mixed together. And I'm just going to be pouring it on and stirring it, pouring it on and stirring, okay? Just trying to pull all the ingredients, all the nuts and seeds together. All right. And this is like a great breakfast, and so I'm going to show you what I would do with this, all right? So I already made some earlier today, so technically this is going to be like extras that I'll give out to family and friends. All right, so this is basically what it should look like at this stage. All right, and I'll share the recipe after, guys. I realize I haven't been doing that. I'll share the full recipe with you guys. Just go to my page and I'll make sure to do that. So now you get your baking pan. I didn't grease it or anything like that, but you can also grease it so it doesn't stick too much to the bottom. So we're basically going to be laying it out on here and just flatten it out. Okay, guys, put whatever nuts and seeds you like. All right, so a lot of people have peanut allergy. I didn't use that today, but you can add whatever nuts and seeds you like. All right, so whatever your favorite nuts and seeds are, that's what you use. Okay, put as much of whatever it is you like in there, whether it's hazelnuts, so many different things. So this, all we're gonna do with this is bake this, all right, for about 30 to 45 minutes. And I'm just gonna put this over here and show you what we have, the end result that we have from before. So can you see, this is my granola that was made earlier. So what I added, in addition to what you saw, these items you can't put in the oven, which is coconut, basically, here it is, the coconut chips, right, and cranberries. If you put these in the oven, it's going to burn, all right? So you don't put these in the oven, you put these on afterwards, all right? And so that's what these are. That's what we're going to put on after, but you guys aren't going to hang around for that next batch. That's why I did another batch earlier, so you could see the result. And that's because it takes such a long time to do. I like it crispy, and that's why it sort of has like this brown look to it. All right, I like it crispy, so that's why I have that. So now I'm going to share with you a quick recipe that I would normally do for myself and my husband for breakfast, a healthy breakfast that you would use. So what you're going to need is a blender. You're going to need a blender or a NutriBullet, whichever one you decide to use. All right, so first things first, we're going to be putting in our milk. You guys know I don't do cow's milk, so I got my almond milk right here. All right, and so I'm going to put about 2 cups of almond milk. All right, that is to start. Then I'm going to put some oats, rolled oats in there, and that's about 1 cup of rolled oats. Again, a healthy breakfast, okay? Then I have my banana, very ripe. The riper, the better, okay? So we're gonna throw this banana, you guys know, have a lot of potassium in it. So we're gonna put these in here. And we also wanna throw some more fruits. All right, so I have my strawberries, which I'm gonna throw in here as well. And those are previously frozen strawberries. That's why you saw that liquid that was there. All right, so now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to blend this together. Now, you can put some peanuts in it if you like, but we're gonna just blend this all together. So that's done. Now what I normally do is, you can drink this as a shake just directly if you just want to drink this. I hope you can see, I don't know if you can see how delicious that looks. But what I normally do is I'll do like a bowl. So this is my coconut bowl. I would pour a decent amount of that in here, and then I would sprinkle my granola on top. Okay, handsome amount. Guys, a lot of fiber here. Okay, you're getting a lot of fiber in this dish. I have a little chia seeds here, some more cranberries, pumpkin seeds, just for garnish sake. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and put that on here and then show it to you guys. All right, so this is basically our bowl. Hopefully you can get a good shot of that. I don't know if you can see it, but this is my healthy breakfast option. I made my own granola specifically because I want to show you how to make your own processed food at home. You don't need to buy it in a box. And I'm going to try it, and then we got to go. Also, oh, this is really good. Also, guys, a great dessert. So this is going to be my dessert for tonight. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please let me know if you want to know more about other things. Whatever it is you want me to talk about, let me know. I have a few more shows to go. Next week is going to be on weight loss. Also for next week, we are actually going to be coming on at 8 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. 8 p.m. because Jamaicans.com will be having the Jamaican diaspora on this time period. All right, so I won't be on at 6. I'll be on at 8 p.m. next week. But come on, we're going to chat. We're going to talk about weight loss. Bring your questions. And we're going to have a nice conversation. So I'll teach you how to make a healthy, what I'm going to do, I'm going to teach you how to make like a healthy fast food option at home. All right. So I love you guys. Truly appreciate y'all coming on here. I'm going to shout out a couple people before I go. And Karen, good to have you. Pamela, you can go to my page at mytemplewellness.com or My Temple Wellness on Facebook and Instagram. And again, guys, don't forget to share this video as you're getting off right now. Don't even wait until tomorrow. Share it right now with your friends. Samantha, good to have you. Yvonne Smith, Sophia Murray, once again, good to see you, lady. It's okay, you're tardy, it's fine. I'm just glad you are here. Janet, Miss Foot, good to have you. All right, guys, we are going to sign out. I will continue to big on up on the page itself, and if you need more information, just let me know. I'm gonna go and enjoy this deliciousness right now. All right, bye guys, love you.